Blackstone Audiobooks presents Miss Mapp, Part 3 of Make Way for Lucia by E.F. Benson. Chapter 1. Miss Elizabeth Mapp might have been 40, and she'd taken advantage of this opportunity by being just a year or two older. Her face was of high, vivid colour and corrugated by chronic rage and curiosity. But these vivifying emotions had preserved to her an astonishing activity of mind and body, which fully accounted for the comparative adolescence with which she would have been credited anywhere except in the charming little town which she had inhabited so long. Anger and the gravest suspicions about everybody had kept her young and on the boil. She sat on this hot July morning like a large bird of prey at the very convenient window of her garden-room, the ample bow of which formed a strategical point of high value. This garden-room, solid and spacious, was built at right angles to the front of her house, and looked straight down the very interesting street which debouched at its lower end into the High Street of Tilling. Exactly opposite her front door the road turned sharply, so that as she looked out from this projecting window, her own house was at right angles on her left, the street in question plunged steeply downwards in front of her, and to her right she commanded an uninterrupted view of its further course, which terminated in the disused graveyard surrounding the big Norman church. Anything of interest about the church, however, could be gleaned from a guide-book, and Miss Mapp did not occupy herself much with such coldly venerable topics. Far more to her mind was the fact that between the church and her strategic window was the cottage in which her gardener lived, and she could thus see, when not otherwise engaged, whether he went home before 12 or failed to get back to her garden again by 1, for he had to cross the street in front of her very eyes. Similarly, she could observe whether any of his abandoned family ever came out from her garden door weighted with suspicious baskets which might contain smuggled vegetables. Only yesterday morning she had hurried forth with a dangerous smile to intercept a laden urchin with inquiries as to what was in that nice basket. On that occasion that nice basket had proved to contain a strawberry net which was being sent for repair to the gardener's wife, so there was nothing more to be done except verify its return. This she did from a side window of the garden-room which commanded the strawberry beds. She could sit quite close to that, for it was screened by the large-leaved branches of a fig-tree, and she could spy unseen. Otherwise, this road to the right, leading up to the church, was of no...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?